this. Before you with this, you better walk up and off the building up. Yes, oh, got the heat up the show. Face up thermometer. I'm gonna take full control. Hey, Paul, let him know. I'll stop for nothing. I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. When a team already has a playoff spot in their back pocket, it can be easy to lose focus and ease up late in the regular season. But not losing momentum going into the playoffs is also important, so they just can't mail it in here. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Steelers. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going to give this time to the tailback. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Fresh set of downs here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Jameis to throw it. And he's got some space here. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. To throw, Winston. They complete it to Hill. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down, Winston. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Stephen Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And Green with a catch left side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive lineman and control him. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
They'll set up to throw. Off the right side here, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a first down carry by Bell, and not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
Lavonte David is a tackling machine. He's always where the ball is.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. A give to Bell. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And this seemingly endless drive continues.
Let's go.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Let's go.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll try it, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Teddy Bridgewater. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Jameis to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Winston. Incomplete over the middle. Seferian Jenkins. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian Jenkins. And it's 3rd down. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They shakes him off. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike.
He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So a 3rd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Oh, it's a wobbler here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. 2nd down, Winston. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Brief break in the action here. Back to Heinz Field after this. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll look to throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Out of the gun now on third down. Looking left side, and it's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Well, the advantage certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense lining up first and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Let's go.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll look to throw again. Going for the deep ball. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing May have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Wheaton with a catch right side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Let's go.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an offset eye. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
This is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. So the D-line's going to spread out. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. come up with one running back. That's Bell. Back to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it with Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll drop to throw. And Green with a catch left side. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Another extra point opportunity here. And the 3rd time's a charm as he finally gets one of these to go. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And the kick goes outside the white lines. That's why the flag comes out.
Yes, and that was an error by the kicker, and it will give the offense great starting field position.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Work out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
One receiver left, two to the right. Now Jameis on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a third down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Now third down, less than a yard. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get two there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
I know I'm not in the rooting business, but I really like this kid, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. Good catch there. I'm just hoping he can stay on the field and have some good health.
Now the Bucs hoping so too. Limited to 16 games total his first 2 seasons combined.
He is quite a target for a young quarterback. Jameis Winston can grow with this guy, and boy, they can be a dynamic duo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Roberto Aguayo out now for the Buccaneer field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's only 3 points on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And even though that stretches out the lead, Charles, I think you'd have to consider this a win for the defense, no?
Couldn't agree more, Brandon. That offense got themselves in prime position to really open up this ball game, but the drive stalled out. And yeah, 3 points is very easy to get back in today's NFL.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. And caught, right side, Green. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Out of the gun now on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Taking it about the 36. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. On third down, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Bryan Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. They'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackling.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Two receivers left, one to the right. A first down throw for Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. 7 yards remain now on third down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
This will be caught inside the 10. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet.
While making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first and 10, Winston. His pass caught at the 4. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism. Great.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line.
They know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Alteron Werner. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Jameis to throw it. Flushed out right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Time for a break. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Winston sneaking it. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
It seems like, and it is a gamble on their side of the field, but they have supreme confidence in picking it up on a quarterback sneak. You can just feel it from this team.
It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd down following the run. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Out of the Wildcat, a wide receiver carry. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll let their receiver run it out of the Wildcat. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. 1 man in the backfield, that's Martin. Here's Winston being chased out left. Now is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now it got his man complete. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll set up a throw. Wheaton with a catch right side. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.